Time is running out in the state legislature. Good evening. I'm Eric Franke.
And I'm Susan Simon. One day remains in the regular session for state lawmakers. News 3 political reporter Jessica Arp tells us what they accomplished this year and what still has a chance, Jess, in the waning days.
Well, it's a scramble sort of here at the end. But some thought the legislature and the governorship, both being under Democratic control for the first time in years, would lead to fast-tracked bills. Instead, a dismal state budget and Democratic disagreement led to some issues being sidelined.
And state your name.
January 2009 might seem like a lifetime ago for lawmakers who are preparing to wrap up a year of work.
This was just simply a matter of trying to keep what we have to balance the books. So it's understandable that there weren't a lot of major issues addressed.
A state budget done on time for the first time in years was a source of pride for Democrats and an embarrassment for Republicans.
We promised to pass a balanced budget on time.
This is a weak effort at economic development.
But by June 30th, it was the law of the land. Some say that was an accomplishment in itself.
The problem overlying all of that is that there's really no money to do very much. This is a state that has a huge budget deficit. It continues to be a real big problem.
So what could they do?
Today, at long last, I will sign legislation enacting a statewide smoking ban.
Wisconsin has a smoking ban going into effect in July of this year.
This bill is what I consider to be the most comprehensive reform of our state's drunk driving laws ever.
It's now a felony to drive drunk for the fourth time, and a bill trying to create jobs made it through, although some debate how effective it will be. What didn't happen were some education reform measures, like changing who controls Milwaukee's school district.
We're here for a specific reason, asking just for treatment.
Efforts to make medical marijuana legal stopped short. So did enacting a 3-cent beer tax to pay for drunk driving penalties. Also failing to move were property tax relief and school finance reform.
I think the jury's still out as to whether this was a real productive session. Again, I think the budget was a significant accomplishment, but things like green jobs, things like energy, health care, all of those things, there may be some things that have been left undone.
And then we have the session planned for tomorrow. What we know from the calendar and from indications from leadership is that a bill that would overhaul elections and allow online voter registration won't get a vote in the Senate. Neither will a bill creating statewide standards for regional transit authorities. And on Earth Day, the Senate will decline to take up a controversial bill creating new clean energy standards in the state. Senate Majority Leader indicated they are still looking at a new version of the payday lending bill passed last night by the state assembly.
So much to do in so little time. So what happens then after tomorrow? Is there any chance left for any of these bills?
Well, tomorrow technically is the end of the regular session. So if any of these bills were to get a vote, it would have to be because of a special session after tomorrow. That's possible, but unlikely because it is election season.
All right. News 3 political reporter Jessica Arp tonight. Jess, thank you very much.
Thanks, Jess.